ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाखाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरून् श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So dear devotees, we are on text number 4, I guess so. Yeah, we are on text number 4, no? 5. Because we completed text number 5. Sorry, 4. We will be on text number 5. Give me 1 minute. Yeah. कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसेन्द्रिययता दीक्षास्ति चेत प्रणतिभिश्च भञ्जतम् ईशाम् शुश्रूषया भजना विज्ञाननन्या निन्दाति शून्यहृदम् ईप्सिता संगलब्ध्या। So Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī says, one should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of the Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation and is engaged in worshipping the deity. And one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. So actually, Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, he is telling over here that how we should deal with the 3 types of devotees. And he is talking about how to deal with Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, and Uttam Adhikari. So if you see that when Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī is saying that how to deal with these people, okay, means these the 3 categories of these devotees that are there. So we should be very careful, and of course he is actually telling us also about that how these 3 types of devotees eventually advance also. Even the Kanishta Adhikari will rise up to, and Madhyam Adhikari will rise up to, and Uttam Adhikari also. So whom I should open my heart to, that is actually very important over here. Just give me 1 minute, okay? I'm just trying to share something. Yeah. So if you see over here, there are 3 types of neophytes. One is the Prakrita Sahajya, one is the Prakrita Bhakta, and one is the Harinam Bhakta. So what does this Prakrita Sahajya do? He chants Hare Krishna casually. Like today he will chant, tomorrow he might not chant. Or if he is in a mood, he will chant. Not in a mood. And this Prakrita Sahaja is very attached to women, money, and intoxication. But he has faith that Krishna is God. And such a person, how will we behave with such a person then? You have to respect within one's mind, but their association should be avoided. Why? Because he's attached to money and women. That's it. Then there is Prakrita Bhakta also. So he's chanting 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra daily. He's following regulative principles also. He only serves Guru and Krishna. And he feels that he's the best disciple. But over here, he does not serve the Vaishnavas. He does not respect. He only knows Guru and Krishna. Or he thinks only these are the two people I should be serving. But if you see, our movement is Gopi Bhartur Pad Kamala Das 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 Anudas. And then you have the Harinam Bhakta, the one who has taken first initiation. So he's chanting definitely 16 rounds of Hare Krishna daily. He's following the four regulative principles. He's serving the Vaishnavas also. He's serving the Guru also. And he's serving Krishna also. And such a person should be offered obeisances with body, mind, and words. All three. So and such a Harinam Bhakta slowly will transit from an, Kanishta Adhikari to a Madhyam Adhikari. So see what are his prayers. Also he's saying that, save me from Maya, please save me from my raging senses. Please let me chant and engage my senses in your service. See, when the service is when the senses are engaged in Krishna's service, then they are rightly engaged. If the senses are engaged in sense gratification, then what is happening? It is binding us to the cycle of birth and death again and again. So what karmas we are doing with our senses, or what actions we are doing with our senses, that matters a lot. That, for example, the action of eating, let's example, okay, we eat every day. So if I'm eating, just okay, my belly will be satisfied, and my hunger will be, satisfied and all. But when we are honoring prasadam, we say that this every morsel, Krishna is, you have gratitude for every morsel. That there are lakhs and crores of people who do not get even one meal a day. They keep on hunting in garbages. But here is Krishna, thank you so much. You have given me this so much sumptuous food. And you have gratitude for every morsel. You're remembering Krishna. You're remembering Guru. Now that act does not become a binding act. You are eating thinking that this body does not belong to me. This body belongs to Krishna. These senses also belong to the master of the senses, that is Rishikena Rishikesha Sevaya Bhakti Ruchyate. These senses also belong to Krishna only. But because I want to serve Krishna more better with these senses, I need to keep these senses healthy and active. With with weak senses, it becomes very difficult to serve Krishna. We don't have that inclination all to serve Krishna with weak senses. So that is why when we are honoring prasadam, our whole attitude or our whole intention of eating that prasadam is that Krishna, with active senses, I want to serve you back again tomorrow. Every day I want to serve you. Till the last breath of my life, I want to serve you. And that is why I'm honoring prasadam. Now, with this attitude, when we honor prasadam, then that action of eating does not bind us. That action of eating will liberate us. There are actions which bind us and there are actions which liberate us. So we will choose what all actions I want to do which will liberate me and which will not bind me in karma. So, because when we get binded, then you have to have a new birth. but I want to cut only this cycle of birth and death through my actions. So this person transcends to Madhyamadikari when he's engaging all his senses in Krishna's service. Then, okay, this is an example, and okay. So, Prabhupada says that, but though in this purport, but those neophyte devotees who are actually initiated by a bona fide spiritual master and are seriously engaged in carrying out the orders of the spiritual master should be offered respectful obeisances. So, somebody whom you know that, okay, he's very regular and he's trying to serve, yeah, that person should be, definitely offered respectful obeisances. When one is actually initiated by the bona fide spiritual master and when he seriously engages in the service of the Lord, he should be accepted as a Madhyamadikari. So it's not in the number of years, but if after initiation he is properly following and he's very serious about it, then we have to actually, consider him as a Madhyamadikari. A Madhyamadikari has received spiritual initiation from the spiritual master and has been fully engaged by him. Who is engaging him? The spiritual master is engaging him in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The Madhyamadikari is a devotee who worships the Supreme Person of Godhead as the highest object of love, makes friends with the Lord's devotees, is merciful to the ignorant, and avoids those who are envious by nature. Now, if you see, firstly, his aim of life is that he knows that Krishna is the highest object of love. For whom? For himself. He is thinking that if I ever love, I will love only Krishna. And he is the highest object of love for me. I don't want to love, dead matter. I don't want to love my house or my car or, any other dead matter. I want to love only Krishna, who is the supreme. He will make friends with the Lord's devotees. So with Vaishnavas, he will have a very wonderful relationship. Dadhati pratigranati guhyam akhyati prichati. He will actually make very good friends. He will have loving exchanges between the Lord's devotees and is merciful to the ignorant. So he will preach also to people who are ignorant about their relationship with Krishna. So he is merciful to even those who are innocent in their ignorance. So he will remove them out from their ignorance and place them in knowledge. So that is this, he is preaching. And avoids those who are envious by nature. If somebody is envying devotees, he will avoid that person. If somebody is blaspheming devotees, he will, what will he do? He will refrain, or he'll keep a safe distance as such. Okay. An Uttam Adhikari is not interested in blaspheming others. His heart is completely clean and he has attained the realized state of unalloyed Krishna consciousness. Out of many such Vaishnavas, one may be found to be very seriously engaged in the service of the Lord and strictly following all the regulative principles, chanting the prescribed number of rounds on japa beads and always thinking of how to expand the Krishna conscious movement. Such a Vaishnava should be accepted as an Uttamadikari, a highly advanced devotee, and his association should always be sought. So here's the definition of Uttamadikari. Firstly, an Uttamadikari will never ever see any fault in any non-devotee also. What to speak about devotees? And his heart is completely clean means what? He is completely cleansed of all his anarthas, pride, greed, anger, envy. And in that clean state of mind, he has attained that unalloyed state of Krishna consciousness. So now he does not have any hetu. He does not have any ulterior motive to actually practice Krishna consciousness. He is selflessly serving the Supreme Lord. He is selflessly serving the devotees, and he is selflessly serving even the non-devotees. So he is equipoised, and he has an equal vision for everyone. And when Krishna says Bahunama Janmanamante Jnanavanma Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarveti Samatma Sudurlabha. So out of many such Vaishnavas, one may be found to be very seriously engaged in the service of the Lord, and he's strictly following all the regulative principles. And he's chanting, and he's always thinking, how can I expand this movement? So such a person is Uttamadhikari, and such a person's association should be taken, in all respects. And every time somebody should hanker for that. When will I go to temple and take association with such an exalted devotee? Let me go to the temple and every day take association of such an exalted devotee. And we also know that in the temple there is even an Uttama Adhikari sitting right, at the entrance only. Śrīla Prabhupada is sitting. Of course, Śrīla Prabhupada is a Shaktivesh avatar, but if you see, all these qualities apply to a Śrīla Prabhupada so much, and even beyond that also. He's completely seriously, he was strictly following the regulative principles. Every moment Prabhupada used to think that how will I expand as Krishna conscious movement? So when Prabhupada actually went to Tompkins Square Park, he just went with a pair of kartal. So he was telling that I didn't go to that Tompkins Square Park to attract people. I went over there to please Krishna. And because I pleased Krishna, look what I have done. So his aim was completely clean, that I want to please Krishna by actually chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Then whatever Krishna is giving me, that is like a bonus. But my first uddesh, or my first motive is to please Krishna. So, and how will somebody recognize an Uttama-adhikari, a Vaishnava? He can be recognized by his ability to convert many fallen souls to Vaishnavism. See, if you see, when, Prabhupada used to meet different people from different walks of life, So Prabhupada, whenever he used to meet, immediately he used to influence. And like that, so many people became, devotees. So many people embraced Vaishnavism. So many people started chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra just because of Srila Prabhupada's purity and a very selfless motive that he had, that he just wanted to please Krishna. That was his spiritual master's order. And to please the Supreme Lord, he was selflessly preaching to the ignorant people that way. So, now somebody has Diksha, okay, because many of them haven't taken Diksha. People might just wonder what is Diksha. So there's a definition of Diksha, what Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī is giving over here is, Diksha kale bhakta kare atma samarpana, sayi kale Krishna tare kare atma sama. So Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in the Antelila says that at the time of initiation, when a devotee fully surrenders unto the service of the Lord, Krishna accepts him to be as good as himself. Krishna is accepting him to be as good as himself. That is full surrender. And then in the Bhakti Sandarbha, Śrīla Jīva Goswami is saying that Divya Jnanam Yato Dayat Kuryat Papasya Sankhyam Tasmat Diksheti Saprokta Dikshes Tattva Kovidah. By Diksha, one gradually becomes disinterested in material enjoyment and gradually becomes interested in spiritual life. Anybody who has taken initiation from a bona fide spiritual master, slowly he becomes disinterested in material enjoyment. He does not want to go and gratify his own senses. But now he will go and gratify Krishna's senses, who are the master of senses. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevaya. That way. And when he will become disinterested in material enjoyment, then What will be interested in? Then he'll become interested in spiritual life. He know that, this spiritual life is only all in all. Now I have no other way to go other than to stick around to this path that way. So what is the prerequisite when one becomes disinterested in material enjoyment? He becomes fit for initiation by the spiritual master. So when we start chanting, slowly, slowly we understand and we can realize that, see, what previously sense gratification we used to do by going here, there, eating this, that, and which was really not required, which was in the mode of ignorance, then we become disinterested in that material enjoyment. And that is why, because we become disinterested in material enjoyment, then we become fit to take initiation. When a person is serious about accepting Diksha, he must be prepared to practice austerity, celibacy, and the control of the mind and body. So see, if somebody wants to accept Diksha, so then three things are there he is to be prepared with. You have to be prepared that I'll be an austere person. Austerity in mind, body, and words, both. Celibacy in mind, body, and words and senses. Senses की भी celibacy होती है. That my eyes will not see any porn scene. My eyes will not see any scene which is going to take me away from Krishna, or which is going to allure me and it's going to degrade me. Or my ears are not going to hear anything which is not in glorification of Krishna. My eyes are not going to see anything except Krishna's beautiful form. And control of the mind and body. So, there has to be the mind control and the body control. See, control of the body means what? Sometimes people now, they don't have control over their body. They hit people, they kill people, they beat people very brutally. So that is control of the body. If one is so prepared in his desire of receiving spiritual enlightenment, Divya Jnanam, he is fit for being initiated. So this is the qualification for being initiated. Diksha is a process and not a one-time event. Diksha is a process. We say, no, I am in the process of becoming a devotee. I haven't become a full-fledged devotee as yet. Right? I'm in the process. So His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj says, Diksha is complete when one comes to bhava level. Right? In the Nectar of Devotion, we have seen that when a particular person has bhav for the Supreme Lord, then actually the whole Diksha process is completed. Right? So at that point, Krishna accepts the devotee on the same level as himself. And the devotee becomes eligible to serve Krishna with his transcendental senses. So see, senses can become transcendental. One is that you purify the senses, right, by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, eating prasadam and all these things. But one is that what is the meaning of that these senses have become transcendental. So when we say that these senses have become transcendental means what? They become immune to any sense gratification. That sense gratification can, any type of material sense gratification cannot allure that particular person. So that's how, that's called transcendental senses. Give me 1 minute. I'm just trying to see over here. I think I had removed that last time. What does Rupa Goswami say? Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī say in the Nectar of Devotion. Any person who has come to this ecstatic love, or who has come to bhava level, what are his qualities? He says he's always anxious to utilize his time in devotional service of the Lord. He does not like to be idle. See, nowadays, even being idle means what? Somebody is scrolling, YouTube shorts and all. That is called idolism. You're idle. कुछ काम धाम नहीं है तो चलो YouTube shorts देखते रहो. So he does not like to idle. He wants service always 24 hours a day without deviation. So he's consistent in his services also. He is always reserved and perseverant. He is always attached from all material attraction, detached from all material attraction, and he is attached to the Supreme Lord. He does not long for any material respect in return for his activities. Amanina mana dena kirtaniya sadahari. He is always certain that Krishna will bestow his mercy upon him. Avashya Krishna rakhive. He is always eager to serve the Lord very faithfully. And he is very much attached to the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. He is always eager to describe the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Means what? His tongue cannot stop glorifying the Supreme Lord all the time. He always wants to glorify the Supreme Lord and his good qualities. How my Lord is so merciful. How my Lord is so, magnanimous. How my Lord, he wants to all the time. See, because he loves, and when you love a particular person, when you love a person 100%, then you would like to, glorify his qualities and his actions as such. So this is what he does. And he is very pleased to live in a place where the Lord's pastimes are performed. Example, Mathura, Vrindavan, or Dwarka. So he wants to completely utilize his time. He does not waste his time. And that's how his, senses become very much transcendental. So formal immunization is the beginning of surrender. And at platform of Bhav, the surrender is complete when all the anarthas are removed and when Krishna accepts him. So, Adhau Guru Padashraya, Krishna Dikshadik Shikshanam, Vishrambena Guru Sevaya. He wants to serve the spiritual master all the time. So, when he is saying over here that one must accept a pure devotee, representative of God, as one's Guru and offer him all the respects one would offer the Supreme Person of God. This is the secret of success for one who adopts this method. The perfect process is revealed. See, what is the secret of success? That we accept a pure devotee as the representative of the Lord, and we accept him as his Guru, and then we offer him all the respects that we are offering it to the spiritual, to Krishna. So, which means what? You exactly want to follow the orders of the spiritual master. So a particular sentence comes out from the spiritual master's, lotus mouth. Immediately you want to, follow it. If the spiritual master says this should not be done, immediately we stop those activities. We will not do it anytime. We will think it as a life and soul. उसको हिंदी में कहते हैं पत्थर की लकीर बन जाता है स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर के instructions. You can say that way. That I will not do if my spiritual master has said this. Or if my spiritual master wants me to do this, I will definitely do or die situation, I will do this. And this is only the secret of success for any disciple. Now you see in the past also, we have got many examples of so many of our acharyas and current acharyas also. What is the secret of, and what is success means what? Success means only in spiritual life, okay? For us, success means only that Guru and Krishna, they recognize us and they accept us. That is the success for us. So when Guru and Krishna are accepted, see, Guru is a representative of all the Manjaris, Sakhis, and the Gopis in the spiritual world, right? And because he's representing, so when the Guru accepts, means what? All the Sakhis, Manjaris, and Gopis have accepted us. And to the last point, that even Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī is also accepted us. And if Rādhārāṇī is accepted us, Krishna is definitely accepted us. So this whole, you can say, parampara goes to Shri Krishna. And that is how, Krishna recognizes us. And if Krishna recognizes, then that is the success for us. Okay. So, one must accept a bona fide spiritual master, render service unto him with great devotion. Whatever one has in his possession should be offered to the spiritual master. And in the association of saintly person, the devotees, one should worship the Lord, hear the glories with faith, glorify the transcendental qualities and activities of the Lord, always meditate on the Lord's lotus feet and worship the deity of the Lord, strictly according to the injunctions of the Shastra and Guru. So many things have been given for a disciple. Sometimes we might just wonder that, I took initiation from my spiritual master, but I really don't know what to exactly to do. I am, difficult for me to understand. So here is an injunction in the Shastra only, that because we have accepted a spiritual master and spiritual master has accepted us, then we should serve him with great devotion and faith. Serving him with great devotion and faith means only serving his instructions. And whatever possessions I have, I must at least mentally know that these belong to my spiritual master and Krishna. And the association of these saintly people is very rare. My spiritual master has sent me this association of devotees. And in that association, what we should do, we should hear the glories of the Supreme Lord, which are to be heard and sung. And we should hear them with great faith that yes, whatever my spiritual master is saying, whatever this Vaishnava is saying, is actually, for my own benefit. He's actually injecting those words so that I can reawaken my lost love for the Supreme Lord. And then we go and glorify those same glories to the other people or to the yet to become devotees. And while doing so, while preaching to these, we are meditating on the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. See, there is a secret, actually. I always say this in my IDC classes, that when a pure devotee actually is giving pravachan, or he is giving a class, or he is giving Bhagavatam class, or where he is preaching, what is he doing is actually he is meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord. And when he's meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord, he is collecting the dust particles from the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, and he is smearing it on the public or the one who are hearing, right? So, and those dust particles, when they reach in the form of the words into my ear holes, and when it enters my heart, then actually my heart gets purified of many, many anarthas of many, many lifetimes. And then I will awaken my love for the Supreme Lord. And then with that, what am I doing is I'm doing deity worship also. Now, what is one of the advantages of doing deity worship is that you know that the proprietor of this whole house is Krishna. I'm not the proprietor. This house belongs to Krishna. This house belongs to the devotees of Krishna. I'm just a caretaker over here. My only possession is my deities. If you see in the, what do you say, in the will of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, what did he say? My only possession is my deities. And that too, then again he said that let these deities be worshipped in different temples wherever, I have been the GBC over there, right? So only possession we have is, the deities that our spiritual master has given us. The deities which the spiritual master has installed for us. And that is why deity worship is very much important, so that all the time we are in the consciousness that मैं इस घर का नौकर हूँ. I am the das, I am the servant of this particular house, and I've been entrusted this house to take care. मालिक का घर है ना, मुझे बहुत अच्छी तरह से संभाल के रखना है, और मालिक को भी बहुत अच्छी तरह से खुश करके रखना है. Like, you know, that bhav we will develop when we do this deity worship that way. So Vedi sadhana bhakti is eligibility of the candidate for advancing in devotional service. So from Kanishta to Madhyama to Uttama, if you see the faith and knowledge of these people, Kanishta's faith is weak and easily anybody can, you know, push him off from the Krishna conscious movement. And his knowledge is also weak. That is why he cannot defend people. He cannot offer any arguments to that opposite opinion. With Madhyam, he's convinced, his faith is good, right? And he can defeat also the opposition opinion. If somebody has a wrong, see, with Madhyam Adhikari, no, he will immediately sense it. That, you know, if he's hearing some philosophy and which is not aligned with the parampara, immediately, you know, this is not aligned with our parampara. Immediately he can sense it. Like a bulldog will sense, you know, that yahan pe kuch gadbad hai. So immediately he'll take the policeman over there, right? Similarly, that even a Madhyamadhikari can sense that this is rasabhas going on. This is actually, you know, virodhabhas going on in the philosophy. And he will not like to hear. He can distinguish between what is right and what is wrong. And he can defend also. And with Uttamadhikari, very strong faith. Strong means आंधी आएगी, तूफान आएगा. Just as a pillar will not fall with so much of, you know, turmoil and, you know, turbulence. And he will have that much faith. So his knowledge is also strong. Why? Because every day he is reading. Every day he is reading as a service to the Supreme Lord. So he is reading. His reading is very strong. I remember one time in Vrindavan when I was doing Bhakti Shastri that time. So His Grace Sarvabhaum Prabhu, he was telling me that if you have a very strict reading of 6 hours, then only you should preach. And I was like, you know, 6 hours of reading. And then, because I was thinking I should start preaching and, you know, how can I preach? I was trying to be a little modest also that time, though I wasn't that time very modest. But I was just generally asking. Then he told me that, you know, you read 6 hours, then you can preach very nicely. Of course, I was not able to read for 6 hours. I tried with 3 hours, and 3 hours I have maintained it till now. Now, this is way back in 2006 I'm talking about. And I've been able to maintain that. Whatever is my capacity, in that capacity, I have tried to maintain my reading and hearing for approximately 3 hours I do. Sometimes it does extend to 5-6 hours if I have a good leisure time, but at least 3 hours I have kept it maintained as such. And so he was telling that if our knowledge is strong, no, then our faith also will be strong. Because with knowledge only faith will increase. Without knowledge, faith cannot increase. And in the association of those devotees who have faith, will our faith increase. So with knowledge, you need that association also of those devotees who have 100% faith in the philosophy, in Krishna and the devotees. Okay, so this is what again, you know, they're saying that Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Hoile Shraddha Nishchay Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krita Hoile. So he is saying that Shraddha is confident, firm faith that by rendering transcendental service to the Supreme Lord, one will automatically perform all the subsidiary activities. Such faith is favorable to the discharge of devotional service. That faith. Faith means conviction that the goal of life is to please Krishna and to abandon all other desires, all other personal desires. Let me put in that also. That desires are there, but then desires should be dovetailed towards Krishna. So that is faith means conviction that the goal of my life is to please Krishna. मेरा अभी जीवन का उद्देश्य यही है कि मुझे केवल एक ही व्यक्ति को प्रसन्न करना है और उन्हीं की सेवा करना है. एंड बाकी जितनी भी इच्छाएं जो मेरी निजी इच्छाएं है, my personal desires, then I will abandon all those desires as such. The three types of devotees are the, while giving instruction to Sanatana Goswami, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu divided devotional service into three categories based on the Shraddha, faith, Shraddhavan Jana Hoy, Bhakti Adhikari, Uttam, Madhyam, Kanishta. One becomes qualified as a devotee on the elementary platform, intermediate platform, and the highest platform devotional service, according to the development of Shraddha. See, Uttam Adhikari's Shraddha no, is actually reached to Nishtha level. Nishtha means what? Nobody can move him, right? Yeah, if you have seen a particular lamp post, right? Now it is standing strong. Whether there is a hurricane also na, that pole will not move. इतना strong है. उसको कहते हैं निष्ठा. गड़ा हुआ जो श्रद्धा है उसको कहते हैं निष्ठ. Firm faith. So Kanishta, we've seen these three types of devotees. I won't repeat that again. Because this keeps on repeating actually again and again. So this Prakrita Bhakta, he does not purposefully study the Shastra, does not try to understand the actual standard of pure devotional service because he's not very much interested. He does not show respect also to the advanced devotees. He may, however, follow the regular principles learned from his spiritual master or from his family who worships the deity. He is to be considered on the material platform. Although he is trying to advance in devotional service, such a person is Bhakta Paraya, just a new devotee. And then his characteristics are mistakes, material expertise to be advancement in devotional service. He thinks if I become a PhD, I become a doctor, he's thinking that, okay, I'm, advanced in devotional service. He does not distinguish between what is Archana versus Bhajan. His consciousness is only, of deity in the temple. He thinks very high of himself. उसको अपना ही एक ego अहंकार रहता है, नहीं that way. And he's disturbed if a Madhyam Adhikari devotee criticizes non-devotees of the Lord. He offends demigods. He doesn't appreciate the paraphernalia of the Lord. He might stamp it or just throw it here and there, These are some of the typical qualities of, this Kanishta Adhikari. And so still, when he keep on again and again, he keeps on dedicating his activities, so then this Kanishta Adhikari can slowly, come to a Harinam Diksha, and after Harinam Diksha, he can come to Madhyam Adhikari. But he's saying even such Kanishta Adhikaris can help ordinary living entities by their association, since at least the Kanishta Adhikaris have faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personal God. So when we say that a neophyte devotee can also preach, why? Because the neophyte devotee has faith, or this Kanishta has a faith that Krishna is only supreme. Ganpati is not supreme, neither Shivji is supreme, neither any demigod is supreme, only Krishna is the supreme. That is why even if he asks somebody to chant, that person starts chanting because he has some balance in his account, that he can tell somebody to chant and that person starts chanting. And see, with even Uttam Adhikaris, what happens now when somebody is associating with the Uttam Adhikari, the Uttam Adhikari is transferring his faith into the audience or the ones who are hearing him. So because the Uttam Adhikari has a firm faith, he is able to transfer that faith. So even this Kanishta Adhikari has little faith, and that little faith is able to transfer. But by continuing to serve the Supreme Lord and devotees engaged properly in the Lord's mission, the Kanishta Adhikari also advances in his realization and comes to the stage of dedicating his activities to helping more advanced Vaishnavas. So Kanishta devotee is angry or disturbed if a non-devotee is criticized. So why is it so? That because this Kanishta Adhikari, he thinks that no, everybody is, the part and parcel of the Lord, and that is why he becomes disturbed. So, in the name of compassion or kindness, a Kanishta Adhikari approves of the non-devotional activities such as materialistic men. Because the Kanishta Adhikari is ignorant of the higher realms of devotional service and the unlimited transcendental bliss of Krishna consciousness, he sees devotional service merely as a religious aspect of life, but thinks that, give me 1 minute, that life has many enjoyable and worthwhile non-devotional aspects also. He might want to go to the mall also, and he might go to, some function also where, either non-veg is also served and onion garlic is also served and liquor is also served that way. If such materialistic devotees follow the rules and regulation of deity worship, they will gradually be elevated to a higher standard and eventually become pure of the law, become pure devotees of the Lord, unless they commit offenses against other devotees, in which case their advancement will be checked. Advancement will be checked matlab slow ho jayega. That way. Be conscious that God is everywhere and not only in the temple. So Srila Madhvacharya comments that one in the lowest stage of devotional service faithfully worships the deity of the temple but is not aware that the Supreme Person of God is actually all-pervading. The same mentality can be seen in the Western countries where people commit all types of sinful activities in their homes and in the street, but then piously go to a church and pray to God for mercy. Actually, God is in our home. God is in the street. God is in our office. God is in the forest. God is everywhere, and therefore God should be worshipped everywhere by the process of devotional service at His lotus feet. So Prabhupada is saying that God is not limited to the temple. Yes, we go to the temple to purify ourselves. We know that the Supreme Lord is in his deity Archa form over here, and we can exchange loving devotional exchanges with the Supreme Lord. We can talk to him. We can, have a beautiful darshan of the Supreme Lord. We can express our feelings to him. He will also reciprocate. So these loving exchanges happen mostly in the temple, and that is why for neophytes, the temple is a base from where then when they advance, they can shoot outside, right? So they can see Krishna everywhere then. Pandita Samadarshina. They will become Pandit one day that way. A devotee of the Lord should not misinterpret Bhagavad Gita's instruction against demigod worship as a license to offend demigods or a bona fide Vaishnavas. So see, even the devotees should understand that the demigods are at least higher than us. If in a human form, humans have 26 qualities, then demigods have got more than us, 50 qualities they have. Above that, Shivji has 55 qualities. Brahmaji has almost 55 qualities, right? And above that, Lord Krishna has 64 qualities. So there is no match with Krishna. But at least above us are the demigods. They have 50 qualities better than humans, better than devotees. And that is why we should, and these are actually, these are also worshipping Krishna in his supreme form. They know Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. They know that Krishna, I am a part and parcel of Krishna. But because the demigods are continuously in the heavenly, celestial planets, then they all the time they have that allurement with them. There is very high grade of sense gratification in the heavenly abode. High level sense gratification is there. There is no old age at all over there, and there is no diseases over there. So in heavenly planets, there are two things then present. There is birth and that is death. And old age and diseases are not present in the heavenly planets. But at least death is present, no? So Srila Madhvacharya states, tad bhaktanam upeksha kaha karyur Vaishnava api dvesham. Those who neglect or show indifference to the devotees of the Lord are to be considered offenders at the lotus feet of the Lord. Similarly, those who disrespect the demigods will become bereft of devotional service and be forced to rotate again and again within samsara, the cycle of birth and death. Pujya devas tatha sada. The demigods are always to be offered respect since they are devotees of the Supreme Lord, and if someone is envious of the demigods, he is to be considered envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Kanishtas cannot appreciate the Lord's paraphernalia. They cannot appreciate that, okay, now this garland has reached the neck of the Lord. Now this has become as good as the Lord. Achintya bheda bhed. There is no difference between the Lord's, garland or the Lord himself, or the Lord's peacock and Lord himself. So, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Ṭhākura is saying that the inability of the Kanishta Adhikari to appreciate the Lord's devotees, entourage and paraphernalia indicates that such a materialistic Vaishnava is still affected by the speculative understanding of the Karmavadis and Mayavadis, those who are dedicated to sense gratification and impersonal speculation about the Supreme Lord. And that is why they are not able to appreciate only the Supreme Lord's paraphernalia. Srila Prabhupada often said that the only impersonal desire to see Krishna alone. We desire to see Krishna with the cows. See, impersonalists are Nirakarvadi. Those who don't accept that Krishna is a form are called impersonalist. So this impersonalist desires to see Krishna alone. He wants to see only Krishna alone. But the devotees of the Supreme Lord, they desire to see Krishna with his cows, friends, parents, gopis, flute, jewelry, forest scenery, and everything related to him. And Krishna is gorgeous in the setting of Vrindavan. One who is uninterested in the Lord's paraphernalia, entourage, and devotees has a stunned conception of personality of Godhead. This must be due to contamination from the impersonal sensuous understanding. So, that way. So, what is the difference between Archana and Bhajan? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Ṭhākura has given a nice explanation of the difference between Archana and Bhajan. Archana refers to the platform of sadhana bhakti in which one serves the Lord to carry out the rules and regulations of the process. One who has achieved the shelter of the Lord's holy name is totally engaged in the attempt to serve the Lord should be considered to be on the platform of bhajan, even though his external activities may sometimes be less strict than those of the neophyte engaged in archana. So somebody who has received the shelter of the Lord's holy name and he's totally engaged in the attempt to serve the Lord, that person should be on the platform of bhajan. One is constantly chanting the holy names of the Lord and preaching the holy names of the Lord. Then he's talking about Madhyamadikari. If you love Krishna in any capacity, you shall never be frustrated because everything in Krishna is perfect, eternal, blissful, and full of surrender. So this Madhyamadikari is surrendering everything to the Supreme Lord. He's friend to all the devotees. He shows mercy to the ignorant. And he's not envious. So this Madhyamadikari, he keeps a distance. We've seen this. So how to progress from Kanishta stage to Madhyama stage? So one should not remain in the Kanishta level, but he should progress to the Madhyama stage. As a Kanishta Adhikari gradually comes to perceive the mental activities of a devotee and tries seriously to advance to a higher stage, his materialistic conceptions will go away of their own accord. Perceive the mental activities is equal to understanding the attitude of a devotee while he is performing devotional service, which is most important in our progress in is the attitude while performing a particular activity. See, in this only nectar of instruction, the very first, preface में ही, what did Srila Prabhupada write? He says that, give me 1 minute, okay? Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. Attitude or consciousness. With what consciousness am I performing this particular activity? Am I performing it to please Krishna? Or am I performing it for name, fame? Or am I performing it that I might get something out of it in exchange? So, with what consciousness I am washing the utensils or cooking or preaching or distributing books? What is my consciousness? So, if somebody wants to really please Krishna and the devotees, and if Krishna is pleased, then with that attitude and purified consciousness, he advances more and more. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, a devotee is considered superlative or superior according to his attachment and love. In the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the following symptoms have been given. If one has the attachment or taste, one which inspires the people, how do we know who has love? Love is shown by activity in which one is absorbed without fruitive mentality. Means what? I am chanting, but I don't have that fruitive mentality that, okay, all my sins will be, eradicated and I'll be very pure and then, I can do more sense gratification. No, not that way. I am very much absorbed in pleasing Krishna. I am very much absorbed in uttering every syllable with great caution without my mind being deviated anywhere for even a nanosecond. When I'm chanting the three names, Hare, Krishna, and Ram, then I'm completely, see, through chanting also we can serve the Lord. For example, in the previous times, the kings used to have ministers who would glorify the king, because the king has so much of stress and, so much of burden of, running the whole empire as such. And the kings also need some refreshment as such. And these kings will have those ministers who will glorify the king. And when the king is glorified, he gets a new energy to, run his, kingdom in the right way and, be very merciful to his, subordinates or the citizens as such. So the king used to feel very happy when, somebody is glorifying him or again and again uttering his name. So similarly, when we utter the Supreme Lord's name again and again, when we chant the holy names of the Lord again and again, then over there Krishna is very supremely satisfied. Now, when we are calling out to the Lord is attentively hearing us. Hey, Krishna Rupa is calling me. And she is calling me with so much love. Let me reach over there. Immediately Krishna, Rādhā and Kṛṣṇa are standing in front of me. But because of my, you can say, lust, greed, anger, pride, envy, I'm not able to see Krishna with these eyes. These contaminated eyes I'm not able to see Krishna with. So that is why it said that Rati Prema Tara Atme Bhakta Tara Tama Ekadasha Sankhe Tara Kariche. A devotee is considered superlative or superior according to the attachment and love what he has. And Rajamallu Prabhu, there is some scribbling on my screen going on. Please stop it. Oh, just give me 1 minute. I'll just stop. I'll erase whatever he has scribbled. So then he's saying that, again, he's saying that he's consistent in all situations and he's self-motivated also. Nobody has to go and tell him, okay, now wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, now put your hand in the bead, now do this seva, now do that. No, he will go and ask, what seva should I do? Immediately. Immediately he'll be enthusiastic. I'll sleep early, wake up early, and go for Mangala Aarti. So all these, these are all, you can say, self-motivation. And Uttamadhikari, then with Uttamadhikari, the topmost devotee, his eligibility is been given over here. One who is expert in logic and in understanding the revealed scriptures and who always has firm conviction and has deep faith that is not blind, is to be considered a topmost devotee in devotional service. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. So, this Uttam Adhikari has the most expansive vision that he's seeing, the Supreme Lord in every soul. In a dog, hog, he's seeing the Supreme Lord. And he's seeing everything in relation to the Supreme Lord. That everything is existing, is eternally situated in the Supreme Lord. Anything, whether it is a mobile or a bead bag or a table or a laptop or a mouse, anything is seen in relation to the Supreme Lord. He knows rightly how to connect it to the Supreme Lord. A devotee of the highest level, I'm sorry, just level of spiritual qualification is glorified for the expansiveness of his spiritual vision. When the stalwart demon Hiranyakashipu questioned his self-realized son Prahlad Maharaj as to the whereabouts of the Supreme Body of Godhead, so Prahlad Maharaj had firm conviction that Lord Narasimha is in this pillar only. And he knew, he had that conviction that, yes, that Lord is everywhere. And the Lord is in this pillar also. So that is why we consider Prahlad Maharaj as a Mahajan or an Uttamadhikari. Oh, there's something really nice what Brahma is talking in Brahma Samhita. So the most expansive vision is what? The qualification of seeing Krishna everywhere. Premanjana charita bhakti vilochanena santa sadeva hridayeshu vilokayanti. So the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the love of God. So, when, we women, we apply kajal, okay? So that's called anjana in Sanskrit. So one is kam anjana or kam ka kajal and one is prema anjana. So currently many people will have kam anjan. Kamanjan means lust, the eyes of lust, right? They want to gratify their own senses. But those who are pure devotees of the Lord, they have premanjana. They have only love in their eyes for the Lord. They have love in the eyes for, the part and parcel of the Lord. They have love for even a dog, hog, peacock, rabbit, tree, stone. They'll have love for it because they are seeing the Lord in all these living entities and non-living entities also. Even a rock, a pebble, they will see Krishna in that. So Uttamadhikari is prepared to offer respects even to a demon, right? So, so who is a pure devotee? So when one is situated on a nearby platform, one cannot understand the devotion ingredients of pure unalloyed devotee. However, when the novice engages in devotional service, especially in deity worship, and follows the order of a bona fide spiritual master, he is a pure devotee. Anyone can take advantage of hearing about Krishna consciousness from such a devotee and thus gradually become purified. In other words, any devotee who believes that the holy name of the Lord is identical with the Lord is a pure devotee. Even though he may be in the neophyte stage, by his association, others may also become Vaishnavas. That is a pure devotee. And now we have actually text 6 also, but I feel that I want to go back to our purport. Let me see. Okay. 1 minute, I'll just share the screen with you all. So far we have seen, we have covered everything from this particular text. And let's go to text number 6. Drishte. So this is text number 6 of Nectar of Instruction. दृष्टे स्वभावजनितेर्वपुश्च दोषेर् न प्राकृतावतम् इह भक्तजनस्य पश्येत् गङ्गामभाषं न खलौ बभूथफेन पङ्केर् ब्रह्मद्रवातम् अपगच्छति नीरधर्मेण. He's saying, being situated in his original Krishna conscious position, a pure devotee does not identify with the body. Such a devotee should not be seen from a materialistic point of view. Indeed, one should overlook a devotee having a body born of low family, a body with a bad complexion, a deformed body, or a diseased or infirm body. According to ordinary vision, such imperfections may seem prominent in the body of a pure devotee. But despite such seeming defects, the body of a pure devotee cannot be polluted. It is exactly like the waters of the Ganges, which sometimes during the rainy season are full of bubbles and mud. The Ganges waters do not become polluted. Those who are advanced in spiritual understanding will bathe in the Ganges without considering the condition of the water. So they will see that, okay, Ganga is still Ganga. Ganga will, not be contaminated. Ganga will always be pure. So a pure devotee is always pure. So over here is saying that Vaishnava Aparadh is more sinful than material sins also. Saying that we should not see devotees from an external perspective. We should not see that, okay, he is white, he is black, he is American, he is Indian, or he is a PhD, he is a 10th pass, 10th fail, whatever it is. Eho Bahya, this is external. So the conclusion is that if Krishna conscious is covered by material sins, one can eliminate the sins simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. But if one pollutes his Krishna consciousness by offending a Brahmana or Vaishnava, one cannot revive it until one properly atones for the sin by pleasing the offended Vaishnava or the Brahmana. So see, if we offend any Vaishnava, till the time we don't go and beg forgiveness from that Vaishnava and that Vaishnava does not forgive us, we cannot revive it back again. Very difficult. So even in Durvasa Muni, right, this was the course that Durvasa Muni had to follow. For he surrendered unto Amrish Maharaj because he had offended Amrish Maharaj So he went and begged forgiveness to Amrish Maharaj. A Vaishnava aparadh cannot be atoned by any means other than by begging the pardon of the offended Vaishnava. जब तक आप उस व्यक्ति के पैरों में गिरकर माफी नहीं मांगते हो, atonement means prayashchitta. Till the time you don't do prayashchitta in front of that person, I'm genuinely sorry for whatever I've done. I really didn't mean it, but please forgive me. And that person forgives you. Then okay, you can chant your, prescribed rounds very peacefully. But if that person does not forgive you, then what? You keep on repeatedly beg forgiveness. See, in most cases, if he's a true Vaishnava, he'll forgive. In first shot, he will. In fact, Amrish Maharaj did not even consider that Durvasa Muni had offended him. They don't even consider it as an offense. But when Durvasa Muni begged forgiveness to Amrish Maharaj, he immediately said that I had never considered only. In fact, I am sorry that I put you in so much trouble. You had to run around. The Sudarshan Chakra was chasing Amrish Maharaj. So, genuine Vaishnavas will never consider that somebody has, committed an offense against me, right? But it is our duty. And if that person does not forgive you, that is his problem, not your problem now. You have done your part of genuinely repenting and going and begging forgiveness to that particular person. You have done your part. Later on, you can go and beg forgiveness even to the Supreme Lord. That please, I want that he should forgive me. Please help me that even. And then you will be able to peacefully chant your rounds. So to blaspheme the devotees who dedicated their lives to propagating the holy name of the Lord. What are the remedies? Fall at the devotee's feet and beg for forgiveness. Sincerely repent. If the devotee is not appeased by our apologies, we should serve him for many days according to his desires. Keep on serving him. Find chances of serving him. Wash his clothes. Wash whatever is possible. Or please him in any way. If the offense is so great that the devotee's anger does not die, one should take full and constant shelter of chanting the holy names of the Lord. If for many, many days and months, this devotee's anger is not pacified, then you'd constantly take the shelter of the holy name. So Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that in time, the divine power of the holy name will free the person from his offense. However, he warns that one should not take advantage of this to avoid begging for forgiveness and serving that devotee. This type of mentality implicates one in further offense. Because when we don't have that habit of begging forgiveness or serving that, when we have done an offense, you will go and left, right, and center go and blaspheme every devotee, thinking that okay, I'll offend and I will chant. I will offend and I will chant. Like in the Christians, what they do? They come on Saturday and Sunday and they beg forgiveness, and then again, having an elephant's bath. Elephant is having a bath with dust again. He goes and has a bath with water and again comes and has a bath with dust again. It will become that way. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. The result of offending the spiritual master is that the mantra one has received from the spiritual master loses its meaning and purpose. हमें कभी कृष्ण प्रेम नहीं मिलेगा. At the time of initiation, the spiritual master invests the holy name into the mantra. But if one offends the spiritual master, the mantra becomes useless. उसका potency जो है वो खत्म हो जाता है. Subsequently, one falls into sinful company and adopts unauthorized scriptures. Such a big offense. Imagine, such a big offense to the spiritual master. Where will we go? Cast away the bad association and bogus scriptures. Throw oneself at the lotus feet of the spiritual master, repenting piteously. I have done this offense towards your lotus feet, I beg forgiveness, and the spiritual master is so merciful that he will forgive you. And then again, the mantra that he has given will be revived, and that will have meaning and will have purpose also. See, what does it mean that this mantra will lose its meaning and purpose? Meaning means what? By chanting the holy names of the Lord, we want to get love of Lord. We want to love the Lord and we want to get his love also, right? And the purpose is that I want to reach to the spiritual world and I want to serve him, personally. That is the purpose, right? That you love and you serve. You love and you serve. That is the meaning and purpose. And you want to serve in the spiritual master to actually, spread the mission also. Right? What fragrance he has given us, that same fragrance we want to spread amongst the non-devotees or yet to become devotees also. You won't have that potency to preach. Previously, we were able to preach to people. At a time, everybody will start chanting, but now nobody will pick up the beads also and chant. People will avoid us because the mantra has lost its meaning and purpose. We have offended our spiritual master. So, in the nectar of devotion, in this sixth, shloka, and it said that one should not become a spiritual master until and unless one has attained the platform of Uttamadhikari. A neophyte Vaishnava or a Vaishnava situated on an intermediate platform can also accept the disciples, but such disciples must be on the same platform, and it should be understood that they cannot advance well towards the ultimate goal of life under his insufficient guidance. Therefore, disciple should be careful to accept an Uttamadhikari as a spiritual master. See, sometimes, some people become very fanatic. They think their counselor or their Shiksha Guru is only all in all. And they think that Diksha Guru is nothing because Diksha Guru is continuously on a move, preaching all around the world, and Shiksha Guru is easily accessible. So this particular counselee or a disciple, he's not able to keep a balance between the Shiksha Guru and the Diksha Guru. He doesn't understand that Diksha Guru is appointed Shiksha Guru to train me. And he gives great importance to only Shiksha Guru and not Diksha Guru. So in Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani, although technically these two classifications about Uttam Adhikari and Madhyamani speak about different things, Srimad Bhagavatam classifies according to Adhikar and CC according to faith and knowledge. Srila Prabhupada, with the exception of following the purport, equates the two in his teachings. Srila Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura, however, in the Bhakti Tattva Viveka specifies Uttama as a requirement for the Madhyama to make progress. Uttam Adhikari also may be at different stages. Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav and Prem. And Uttama is not automatically an Uttama, but he may be an advanced Madhyama who is on the path of progress. Either case, they are qualified to be Guru, as they can defeat arguments and never fall down from their position. So he's saying over there, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that how are these gradations, they are like, when you say Kanishta Adhikari, then Kanishta Madhyama, Kanishta Uttama. Then you say Madhyama Kanishta, Madhyama Uttama. And then you say Uttama Kanishta, Uttama Madhyama and Uttama. The Uttama is completely highest, like Srila Prabhupada. They say Uttama, that way. So he's saying that this Uttam Adhikari also may be on Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav and Prem, either of these stages. And an Uttam is not automatically an Uttama, but he may be an advanced Madhyama. So he may be Madhyam Uttama also. So, and he's progressing also again, till Uttama also. So, in either case, he can be a guru. Why? Because he's able to defeat the arguments and he will never fall down from his position. And an intermediate devotee is greatly attracted to chanting the holy name. By chanting the holy names, he is elevated to the platform of love. If one chants the holy name of the Lord with great attachment, he can understand his position as an eternal servant of the spiritual master, other Vaishnavas, and Krishna himself. Thus, the intermediate Vaishnava considers himself Krishna Das or Krishna servant. And therefore, he preaches the Krishna consciousness to innocent neophytes and stresses the importance of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. An intermediate devotee can identify the non-devotee or motivated devotee. The motivated devotee or the non-devotee are on the material platform, and they are called a prakrita. The intermediate devotee does not mix with such materialistic people. So what is Prabhupada's position as a preeminent Shiksha Guru for all ISKCON devotees? Sri Sampradaya followers keep Sri Ramanujacharya as the center. The spiritual master is important for personal guidance. Built in the event of Diksha Guru falling away, one should continue Krishna consciousness by being fixed in the teachings of the preeminent Shiksha Guru without being bewildered. So somebody's Guru has fallen down from his position. That does not mean that he also has fallen down and he goes away. No, he can catch another, Diksha Guru and he can take guidance and he can get reinitiated also from that particular Diksha Guru, right? Therefore, keeping teachings of Srila Prabhupada as the center of our lives and not keeping some other personality as the center, our faith should be fixed in the words of the Acharya. This will ensure that our stability not be sentimental and swayed away by one personality. People may come and go, but the instructions are eternal. So see, so very important this is that Srila Prabhupada is the preeminent Shiksha Guru for all times to come. People will come and go from our life, but Prabhupada's instructions, Vani, will always remain eternal. Vani will never change. So, we have a preeminent Shiksha Guru. We have Prabhupada with us. So we should not get bewildered. Whoever will come in our life, go will alive. Wherever we might also change so many Shiksha Gurus, right? Personal Shiksha Guru. But we have Prabhupada's tapes, we have Prabhupada's books, right? One should not accept a spiritual master without following his instruction, nor should one accept a spiritual master just to make fashionable show of spiritual life. One must be jigyasu, very much inquisitive to learn from the bona fide spiritual master. So see, we should not have a spiritual master as a fashion, or even I have a guru. Not that way. There are many regulative principles in the Shastras and directions given by the spiritual master. These regulative principles should act as the servants of the basic principle. That is, one should always remember Krishna and never forget him. This is possible when one chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Therefore, one must strictly chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 24 hours daily. One may have other duties to perform under the direction of the spiritual master, but he must first abide by the spiritual master's order to chant a certain number of rounds. In our Krishna conscious movement, we have recommended that the neophyte chant at least 16 rounds. This chanting of 16 rounds is absolutely necessary if one wants to remember Krishna and not forget him. Of all the regulative principles, the spiritual master's order to chant at least 16 rounds is the most essential. Very important. Then somebody might ask that if all our acharyas were chanting 64 rounds, why did Prabhupada reduce it to 16 rounds? So, everyone begins his devotional life from the neophyte stage, but if one properly finishes chanting the prescribed number of rounds, Harinam, he is elevated step by step to the highest platform, Uttamadhikari. The Krishna conscious movement prescribes 16 rounds daily because people in the Western countries cannot concentrate for long periods. while chanting on beads. Therefore, the minimum number of rounds is prescribed. See, in the Western countries, their attention span, or you can say that their capacity to chant for 8 hours is not there. So then Prabhupada reduced it to 2 hours. Only an acharya can make and break rules and regulations. We cannot do that. Okay. We cannot say, okay, I will chant minimum only 2 rounds and finish. Not that way. There are certain conditions about the quality and serving the Supreme Lord. However, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur used to say that unless one chants at least 64 rounds of japa, 100,000 names, he is considered patita, fallen. According to this calculation, practically every one of us is fallen. But because we are trying to serve the Supreme Lord with all seriousness and without duplicity, we can expect the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is famous as Patita Pavan, the deliverer of the fallen soul. So imagine, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur's standard is, till the time I'm not chanting 16 rounds, I'm Patita, I'm a fallen. But if I'm chanting at least 16 rounds with all seriousness, then I have a hope that one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will deliver this person who is very fallen. And the conclusion is that anyone who is trying to advance in Krishna consciousness by regularly chanting the holy name should always be respected by the Vaishnavas. On the other hand, we have witnessed that some of our contemporaries who are supposed to be great preachers have gradually fallen into the material conception of life because they have failed to chant the holy name of the Lord. See, why do people fall from their position? Because they are not chanting 16 rounds properly. Gradually, they will move away. Gradually, they will have fallen into the material conception of life. They find material world more, attractive than the spiritual world, more attractive. The most important instruction of the spiritual master is chanting of the holy names, which will take one from Kanishta to the Madhyama. Tara Madhya Sarva Shreshta Nama Sanketana Nira Aprade Nama Lele Paya Prema Dhana. Of all the 9 processes, this chanting of the holy name is the most potent. If one does so, avoiding the 10 kinds of offenses, one very easily obtains the most valuable love of Godhead. Okay, so I want to just conclude with this slide. In conclusion, the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotees who come to the spiritual world are executing a mission, and therefore sometimes they act in a way that is very difficult to understand. It is said, therefore, that Vaishnavere Kriya Mudra Vignena Bujaya. You cannot understand the activities of a Vaishnava. Even if one is very learned and an intelligent scholar, he cannot understand the activities of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava accepts anything favorable for executing his mission. But foolish persons, not knowing the purpose of such exalted Vaishnavas, indulge in criticizing them. That is forbidden, since no one can understand what a Vaishnava does for the purpose of executing his mission. To criticize such a Vaishnava is the offense called sadhu ninda. We should never do any sadhu ninda. We should never do any ninda. Not even to a non-devotee we should do any ninda. Because we never know that he might become a devotee one day and then that will backfire us. So that is why we should never do any sadhu ninda. Okay, what I'll be doing is, I will stop here. And if anybody has any questions, doubts, queries, you can definitely ask me.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Mataji, in Kanishta Adhikaris also there are Kanishta Madhyama, Kanishta Uttama.
Yes, Prabhuji. So see, in Kanishta, I'll just show you. We'll just go back to this first slide, which I was showing you. So 3 types of neophytes. So this is one. So Kanishta, Madhyama, and Kanishta Uttama means only Harinam Bhakta, the one who has taken initiation. That is it. Okay, I'm sorry.
Mataji, I have.
Wait.
Sorry, Mataji.
I didn't share this. I'm very sorry, Prabhu. See this screen app that I had shown you, Prabhu.
Yes. Yeah. Mataji, you will be sharing this slides. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be sharing all the slides.
Okay.
And these slides, they don't belong to me, Prabhuji. This slide actually is coming in parampara from His Grace Radhesham Prabhu. So this is a bona fide slide and I can very openly, share it with you all. But the only constraint with these slides are these are only read-only slides. So I cannot change anything in these slides. There is a password and a lock. But if you click on read only, you'll be able to see all these slides properly.
Mataji, I have seen some after initiations and long period of time, they were good devotee, but they have been then afterwards moved over to the material life, not chanting and all. So in that case also, we have to treat them as an devotee and offer our prayers. Means we should offer the obeisances to them in our mind.
Prabhuji, in our mind, yes, we can offer obeisances, but we have to keep a safe distance because we should not be influenced by what they have been doing. Otherwise, one day we might also land up in the same situation that they are in. Our association, see, even in association, they say that association with peers or equal devotees should be 60%. With seniors should be, senior or Uttam Adhikari should be 20%. And to whomever we are preaching or to whomever have come behind us in Krishna consciousness, that should be 20%. And this is the exact way of associating with the 3 levels of devotees. One who is, higher than you in Krishna conscious number of years, he has spent more, he or she has spent more, and equals those who have come with you in Krishna consciousness. Maybe a year or 2 can be aage piche, but then you have to have 60% of association with them, because peers are the one who will tell you, okay, you're going wrong here, this is your defect, this is not proper what you're doing. They can help us to not fall down, and they actually the ones who show us the mirror. And then to have compassion to ones who have come after us, that is 20%. That is.
Thank you. Thanks.
Anybody else has any queries, doubts, questions?
Mataji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
How was your yatra, Mataji? Vrindavan yatra, it was good, Mataji.
Oh, Prabhuji, it was very nice. It was very, very blissful yatra.
How many days?
Very nice. Prabhuji, I took a long vacation this time. Very long vacation, and to my heart's fulfillment, I went at each place, chanted at each place, and begged for forgiveness, begged for to help me chant and all. So it was very wonderful and refreshing, because in a year, Prabhuji, I just move out of my house only once. This is Kartik month time. Otherwise, I don't get to move out from my house. This time I took a long vacation.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. So we'll just stop over here. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur